my stamping friends, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Albert, Alberta, and welcome to my Mystery Monday video today. So today we are going to do something kind of snowflakey, if that's a word. We've been having quite a bit of snow off and on this last week, and I thought, wow, snowflakes just sort of come to mind. And so we are going to use these Snowflake Kisses dies. Now, this is actually part of a bundle from the September online exclusives, but it is still available. So you have some nice individual snowflake images, some label images of this really large one that you could use on a layer on the front if you wanted. That would be lovely. A nice circle in the stamp set, which I don't have. I just have the dies. But you could stamp any greeting inside the circle, and then some other little snowflakes here. So really cute little set for winter, these snowflake dies. And this particular one can actually be used sort of on the corner of a card, right? Or at the top, because it does have sort of an edge there if you wanted to use this one as well, with a lot of different snowflake patterns there. All right, so the card we are going to make today, I'll just get myself organized here, is this one. Kind of blue and white is kind of the color combination I like to use whenever I'm doing sort of snowflake, wintry type of scenes. And this has got a little bit of a fun fold to it, and we have stuck on some other snowflakes on the inside. Okay, so I'll show you how we are going to put this together. So we are going to start with a piece of balmy blue cardstock. If you wanted to try this in different colors, like a light Highland Heather, or even add some sort of foil or metallic to it, that would be lovely as well. But we're going to start with a piece of balmy blue, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and it's scored at 2 3/4. So I'm just going to fold over that score line just so I can see where it is. And the first thing we're going to do is cut out our snowflakes, okay? So for that, you're going to decide which sort of snowflakes from the dies you want. I'm not going to use the corner one this time. I did on my sample, if you can sort of see the straight edge here. I think I'm just going to randomly use some of the other ones. And the part that we're going to cut out is on this front flap, okay? This front balmy blue flap. When you fold it over on that score line, we are going to cut our snowflakes out of here, okay? So you can just sort of decide where you want your snowflakes to go. You know, just randomly which ones. If they don't all fit in one pass, you can certainly, you know, pass it through your die cut machine again, whatever works for you, okay? But before I do that, we are going to put a piece of an adhesive sheet right in here. Okay, and I will post all these measurements. I believe I cut this adhesive sheet at about 4 by 2. So the first thing we're going to do is put that on the inside of that front flap, okay? So I didn't cut it the full width of this piece. I wanted a little bit of a border around, just to give me a little bit of wiggle room, because we are going to be covering this up after. But I'm just going to show you this part first. So you're gonna stick down your adhesive sheet like so. Okay, so when you look at your card this way, your adhesive sheet will be on the back of this top inside flap. Okay, so now is when you're going to cut out all of your snowflakes. Okay, so I'm just gonna whip over to the die cutting machine and cut these out, and I will be right back. Always a decision. Where do we want to put these? Let's see. Like I said, if you don't want to run them through all at once, you can definitely, you know, just do a couple. That's fine as well. Just trying to decide where I want these here. Okay, I think I'm getting there. Okay, I think that's good. So I apologize if I'm wobbling the table here. Try to do this slowly and quietly. I can see my camera shaking. Okay, so let's see how this turned out here. One of them sort of slipped over a little bit, but I don't think that'll matter. Oh, it did kind of cut out there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But it will be fine, because we will be putting a white layer behind here. So that'll just look like a little bit of a corner part of a snowflake. So what you want to do now is, best you can, I know it's a little tricky with that adhesive sheet, but you're going to punch these out, okay? These snowflakes that we just cut. And you could do all kinds of patterns, you know, depending on where you position your snowflakes, or if you want to use that corner piece, you know, all of that. Okay, so there's kind of my snowflakes there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to set my snowflakes aside for a second, and I'm going to peel off this adhesive sheet here. Okay, so you're going to peel that off. And it may be a teeny bit tricky because those snowflakes are quite detailed. Okay, so it's going to come off in pieces, I think. Okay, so you've got that sticky surface there on the top, and that is where we are going to adhere a piece of basic white, and it's going to stick on top of this adhesive sheet. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down with the adhesive sheet facing up, and then I have a piece of basic white, which I believe I also cut it 4 by 2. Okay, now I do have that little extra bit that cut out, so we'll see if we can kind of squeeze that on here as well. And if not, you kind of get the idea. Okay, so we're going to put this here. Oops, I left a bit there too, but oh, I did. Okay, maybe I should add a little bit there. I'm just going to add a little strip of paper there. See, normally this would not happen. And this would have cut out fine. So let's just fix that, because we can do that. I am just going to cut a little snippet of basic white just to cover that up there. I think that's pretty close, so let's just do a little edge here. And it just turns out I have an adhesive sheet on this piece. I did this ahead because I thought, oh, maybe on a future project I'll cut out some white snowflakes. And it's much easier for me to put these down with an adhesive sheet than with glue. So I'm just going to stick this towards the top like so. And we're going to cover that up. Okay, now you can see that from the inside, but we will maybe tack some of those snowflakes there. And this edge, well, I'm just going to leave that. Okay, because we are going to put a greeting on the center, so that's going to cover that up. Okay, so there you have your white snowflakes that show through. And here I have a few more because I did use this more corner piece. Okay, so now what we're going to do, that we have that, we can put a piece of basic white here on the inside, and that's where we are going to write our greeting. All right, and if you wanted to die cut some more out of here and have the blue show through, that might be a nice touch as well. You could definitely do that. Cut some out of the white before you put it down. And then these snowflakes that we cut out, how about we add some of them to the inside of our card? Like we could even put some over here, right? So let's peel off that adhesive sheet because that was stuck to that inner flap of our balmy blue. Okay, so this will kind of decorate the inside of our card a bit and make it quite like a bit of a wow when you open it up, right? So we even have some tiny little snowflakes here. We'll see if we put those on. Okay, this one, just have to pop out these center pieces. These are pretty, aren't they? These are even nice on the front of a card, and you could, you know, put some nice embellishments in the center to give them a little bit of bling. That would be nice too. So maybe, is this one too big? Yeah, I think I'm going to put the big ones on this side so we have more room to write over here. And then this one. See, so you actually get them cut out here so you can see nice snowflakes, plus you get the added benefit of having the cut piece that you can still use on your project. So kind of 2 for 1, kind of neat. All right, so where do we want to put this guy there? Maybe we'll put him in this corner here. Kind of like putting on stickers. I know when we've had some of our first snow, it was that wet, sticky snow. So you saw lots of snowmen that were being constructed all over. It was really cute to see them all in the yards. I remember building them with our kids too. That first snowfall, you had to go outside and you had to get all snowy and build a snowman. And those were the fun times too. I'm sure some of you still do that with your kids or grandkids. Okay, so that would be our inside, all right? So you have lots of room to write a little greeting. Okay, so for our greeting, I cut out 2 circles from the Spotlight on Nature dies, one out of the white, one out of the balmy blue. And on this one, we're going to stamp our greeting. So for that, I pulled out their traditional labels stamp set. And this is one that I've used a lot this season because you can puzzle together whatever sort of greetings that you want. And there's also Merry Christmas. These are 2 separate stamps. So, you know, you could do Merry Wishes or Merry Christmas, just with different fonts, right? And puzzle this together. So really quite a versatile stamp set. So I think we'll just stick with the same one, Merry and Bright. And that's what we put on that one. And I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy, just so it stands out a little bit. It's more of a focal point. Okay. So I just sort of placed them on my block like I'd like them to look. And I tested it on a piece of scrap paper just to make sure they lined up not too badly. So I'm going to stamp this here in the center about. Okay, so that kind of pops a little bit, which is nice. And then we can add that on top of our balmy blue circle here. Okay, so let's center that. All right, so then we're going to add a little bit of a bow, I thought would be kind of nice. This is our sheer ribbon, and I really think this is beautiful, even for gift packaging. It's our 1/2 inch balmy blue sheer ribbon, and I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it does have that beautiful shimmer to it. And so this is a very, very pretty ribbon, but you can kind of see the sort of, just kind of like it's frosted almost, right? I love this ribbon. I think it's so, so pretty. Okay, so we're going to put that on with a couple of glue dots, and I decided to tie my bow in advance because my last couple of videos I was having some bow issues, And I didn't want to have to put you through the pain of watching me do that again. Okay, I might just stick a couple of little ones under these bows so they don't get in the way of our greeting, so you can still see it. So I'll stick one on the back, just sort of tack that down. If it covers it a little bit is okay, but I don't want it to cover the entire greeting. So just tack a little bit, just tack it a little bit down like so, and you can trim those tails if you like. Just kind of, just so the bottom part is sort of tacked down there, kind of like that. And then for a little bit of bling, I have these traditional sparkling sequins. So these are really fun. They've got all kinds of sparkle and color here. Like you can just see that shimmer. So we have some of the red, the gold, the blue, the green, and then some more red. And it comes in different sizes, okay? So you have some larger ones and smaller ones. So here, I think here I just put the large ones, but I think on this one, maybe I'll do a little combination. Oh, that's green. I don't want green. Maybe we'll just sort of switch it up a little bit and use some of these little ones as well, just to give it an extra bit of shimmer. I know blue and silver is always one of my favorites for the holidays too. And then we're going to put it on here, but we're going to pop it on dimensionals and just add them under this left side, okay, because we don't want it to stick to our card base. So let's just, whoops, the whole thing came off there. My end piece, which I'm using up, which is awesome. Been going through so many dimensionals with Christmas cards and projects and things. They're just awesome. Probably my favorite product. All right, so let us center this approximately straight, and hopefully I don't have, oh, I have a little bit of a dimensional peeking out, but I'm just going to tuck that under like so. So you can still see the snowflakes here, and when you open up, there's a few more snowflakes and a place to write your greeting. So there you go. Actually a fairly simple card. There's just a little bit of die cutting and putting it all together, and it makes for a really, really pretty card to send somebody. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay warm. I know it's getting colder where we are, so stay nice and warm and toasty, and we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.